Yeah, boom. 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 That's a boom. We began. Boom. It's the 31st of January. Yes. It's already 1 month gone of 2024. Wow. Hey, I'm Thundercloud. Welcome to Wednesday Words here at the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. Washing away the garbage, leaving rainbows after rains. Ooh, what's been happening? I've got this fantastic painting here by a local artist who's now passed on, Brian Irving. He painted that in 2008, which I got from the Gyra art show just the other day. I walked in at the end of the art show and I thought, what a fantastic painting. That's beautiful. Need to celebrate this fantastic artist in the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. Anyway, as I've taken delivery of the painting, on the back was this piece of cardboard, and all I could see was Vickress. Now, the title of the painting is Madam Acacia, and as you can see, you've got this beautiful Madam Acacia with her mane of wattle flowers. You've got the two rainbow serpents going down either side, these lovely two women here, and the flying foxes, or the flying squirrel possums here, and the sugar gliders there, and the eagles as well, as a number of other elements, but you really have to get in close to see it and appreciate and the amount of effort that's gone into it. Anyway, along with that, well, when I did take this piece of cardboard off, it said Vickress, and I'm like, what's that? And then I turned it over, and it's actually a poem written by Ron Vickress, who is a very respected and a very, very old World War II veteran from Armidale and Gyra area. And I'm going to read that out now to accompany Brian Irving's painting here. Madam Acacia. First whiff of spring finds Madam Acacia at her toilette. Fresh from her winter bed, she powders herself all over, as all belles of old do. Takes from her wardrobe her gold-spangled gown, drops it over her head, covering her grey-green shift, shivers in anticipation, sending showers of yellow powder over her drab companions, crowns herself with her spring tiara, and boldly awaits the salute of the morning sunshine. Madam Acacia, known by the unsophisticated as Miss Wattle, still draws fond glances despite her advancing years. May she ever do so, for I fear we have placed her future in jeopardy. Ron Vickress, Madam Acacia.
Brilliant painting.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it is really fantastic. All right, what's happening here at the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame? Wow, we have a whole range of new merchandise available on the website. There's t-shirts, mugs, hoodies, sweaters, stickers, bush poet ones, there's slam poet ones, there's a whole range of stuff as well as the meanwhileinaustralia.com.au website, where we have a range of Australian themed, some serious, some funny merchandise as well, which also supports the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. So check it out, Australian Poetry Hall of Fame.com.au/store or meanwhileinaustralia.com.au and the store there as well. As well as that, I do need to mention the Australian Poetry Film Contest, and I'm raising funds for that on a GoFundMe to be able to pay the winners prizes actually, and to promote the thing. So if you check out in the link below underneath there, you'll see a link to the Australian Poetry Film Contest. And if you want to enter, you can now just make a poetry film either an Australian poetry film, an Australian bush poetry film, or a student bush poetry film. They're the three categories. So check it out. And if you are a patron of film and the arts and poetry and you'd like to make a donation, you'd also check out the link down below in the description for how you can donate. All right, let's get on with a bit more poetry now. I got a bit of kiddie kind of stuff. One of the people in my younger life that was, I guess, maybe perhaps influential in me becoming how I am as a poet would have to have been Skye Milligan. Now, I wasn't listening to the Goon Show as such or anything like that. It was these two books here and another one. There was Silly Verse for Kids, a book of Milliganimals, and the third one, Small Dreams of a Scorpion by Skye Milligan. And no, not a lot, well, some people do know. If you know anything about Skye Milligan, his mum and dad moved out to Australia from Ireland. He was actually born in Ireland, but he ended up, he went off to India, he went to, ended up living in England, going to war and that kind of stuff. But he also came out to Australia and wrote a lot out here at Woy Woy and around Australia as well. Anyway, I'm going to start off with Silly Verse for Kids, and I'm just going to begin at the beginning, as you often do, and work my way through a few of these, and then I'll move on to a couple of others. So Mary Pugh is the first verse, whoever she was. Oh, string. It's a very important thing. Rope is thicker, but string is quicker. P.S. The meaning of this is obscure. That's why the higher the fewer. Mary Pugh was nearly 2 when she went outdoors. She went out standing up, she did, but came back on all fours. The moral of the story, please meditate and pause. Never send a baby out with loosely waisted drawers. Tell me, little woodworm. Tell me, little woodworm, eating through the wood, surely all that sawdust can't do you any good. Heavens, little woodworm, you've eaten all the chairs. So that's why poor old Grandad's sitting outside on the stairs. I've never felt finer. I've never felt finer, said the King of China, sitting down to dine, then fell down dead. He died, he did. It was only 9:30, said the General. Said the General of the Army, I think that war is balmy, so threw away his gun, now he's having much more fun. Sounds about right. Granny. Through every nook and every cranny, the wind blew in on poor old Granny, around the knees, into each ear, and up her nose as well, I fear. All through the night the wind grew worse, it nearly made the vicar curse. The top had fallen off the steeple, dismissing him and other people. It blew on man, it blew on beast, it blew on nun, it blew on priest. It blew the wig off Auntie Fanny, but most of all it blew on Granny. All right, I'm going to move on into another one of Skye Milligan's books here now. The Book of Milliganimals, which is about his sort of bizarre animals. And some of them are, well, it begins with animals, like the Arctic elephant, Arctic elephants are the same as African ones, only they're colder. Feel one. Leopards are easily spotted. Just fill in the white circles with black ink. The cheetah. A sleek cat is the cheetah. No other could look neater. He's heavily dotted, so he's easily spotted, and he lives in Tanganyika. The cheetah. The pygmy elephant. Pygmy elephant is made much shorter than the giant brigade. He lives much closer to the ground, and that's where he's usually found. Why should an elephant be so wee? My friend, it's no good asking me. Tiger, tiger. Oh well, there's actually one about Sydney here. Alligator first. From Sydney Zoo, an alligator was put on board a flying freighter. He ate the pilot and the navigator, then asked for more with mashed potato. Much later. Tiger, tiger, burning at etc. Tigers travel stealthily using first legs 1 and 3. They alternate with 2 and 4, and after that there are no more. Price on tiger's head. Envoy. Tiger, tiger, burning bright. Look out, you'll set the jungle alight. Silly old baboon. There was a baboon who one afternoon said, I think I'll fly to the sun. So with 2 great palms strapped to his arms, he started his takeoff run. Mile after mile he galloped in style, he never once left the ground. You're running too slow, said a passing crow, try reaching the speed of sound. So he put on a spurt, by God how it hurt, the soles of his feet caught fire. There were great clouds of steam as he raced through a stream, but he still didn't get any higher. Racing on through the night, both his knees caught alight and smoke billowed out from his rear. Quick to his aid came a fire brigade who chased him for over a year. Many moons passed. Did baboon ever fly? Did he ever get to the sun? I've just heard today that he's well on his way. He'll be passing through Acton at 1. P.S. Well, what do you expect from a baboon? And we'll finish off this one with giraffe number 1 and number 2. Giraffe number 1. We come now to the stately giraffe who's never been known to smile or laugh, but once long ago he laughed at a Tory who told him, they say, a very tall story. Giraffe number 2. This self-made giraffe was mentioned in dispatches for making himself with straw dust, string and patches. Now, I've got one more here of Spike Milligan, and then this is from Spike Milligan, Small Dreams of a Scorpion. Now, myxomatosis. Now, I'm not sure if you know what myxomatosis was in Australia. Long ago we had a rabbit plague, and so a bit like they introduced cane toads to control the dung beetle, scientists made a disease to attack the rabbits to make them go blind, and it's called myxomatosis. Well, the rabbits did develop an immunity to that. Myxomatosis. A baby rabbit with eyes full of pus is the work of scientific us. That's that, yeah. Myxomatosis. Me. This is No, I'm not going to do that one because I've got another one here that I've actually marked. Korea. This is about the Korean War. Why are they lying in some distant land? Why did they go there? Did they understand? Young men they are, young men they stay. But why do we send them away? I love his political comment. It's quite often quite concise and short. Yeah. Goliath. They chopped down 100-foot trees to make chairs. I bought one. I am 6'1". When I sit in the chair, I'm 4'2". Did they really chop down a 100-foot tree to make me look shorter? That was written in Bayswater, London, 1971. New members welcome. Pull the blinds on your emotions. Switch off your face. Put your love into neutral. This way to the human race. Yeah, that was the cynic in him. And one of the things is that he was manic depressive and he spent time in a psychiatric ward in 1956, I believe. All right, before I invite Gabriel up, last week I was down there at the Tamworth Country Music Festival for the Frank Daniel walk-up competition for the heat and the final, and I got into the final, and I would really love to say, wow, what an amazing group of competitors were there and poets. Let's begin with, say, there was Duncan Williams, there was Lance Lawrence, Rob Cummins, Joey Reedy, and they were some of the runners-up. Myself, I got 5th, Donna McQueen, she got 4th, David Melville, 3rd, Michael Jones, or Michael the Living Poet, got 2nd, and the winner of the Frank Daniel Walk-Up Poetry Competition there in Tamworth, at the West Tamworth Bowler on Australia Day, the 26th of January, was Bianca Reedy of Wallabadar out there near Tamworth, 13-year-old, great little poet, and yeah, so that was a fantastic thing to do. All right. Congratulations to Bianca and to all the other contestants. Also a really big shout out to Ray Essery, who started off the competition, the Frank Daniel Award, put up the prize money, etc., etc. Big shout out to all the other poets that were there that put on the show before, Tom McElveen once again, and Susan Ashton for putting together a great show there at Tamworth and everything. Wow, awesome poets. Good to see you all. And I look forward to seeing you here in November for Poets on the Mountain Festival, going once again in conjunction with the Australian Poetry Film Contest. And Gabriel Donleavy is back from his being away. Yeah, thank you. Come on up, Gabriel. Lower that if you want.
Hi everybody. I'm going to start by looking at some quatrains. They're a relatively simple form, and I'm taking these extracts from what are supposed to be some of the best ever written in the opinion of Michael Birch, who's got a hypertext on the subject online. Quatrain, 4 lines, rhyme included. That's the theory. In practice, there's not always rhyme included. Refugee by Emily Dickinson. These strangers in a foreign world, protection asked of me. Befriend them lest yourself in heaven be found a refugee. Neat. W.B. Yeats, another one who needs no introduction. 3 verses. It's called When You're Old. When you're old and grey and full of sleep and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read and dream of the soft look dream of the soft look your eyes had once and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace and loved your beauty with love false or true? But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled and paced upon the mountains overhead and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. Anne Sexton. Born 1902, died 1959. Sorry, no, not her. Do her another time. Mary Elizabeth Fry. Do not stand at my grave and weep. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I'm 1,000 winds that blow. I'm the diamond glints on snow. I'm the sun on ripened grain. I'm the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circling flight. I am the soft starshine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die.
That's 4 quatrains in that one?
Yep.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
Edna St. Vincent Millay. Related to the Millay family. Around about 1920. I, being born a woman and distressed. I, being born a woman and distressed by all the needs and notions of my kind, am urged by your propinquity to find your person fair and feel a certain zest to bear your body's weight upon my breast. So subtly is the fume of life designed to clarify the pulse and cloud the mind, and leave me once again undone, possessed. Think not for this, however, this poor treason of my stout blood against my staggering brain. I shall remember you with love or season, my scorn with pity. Let me make it plain. I find this frenzy insufficient reason for conversation when we meet again. I think that's excellent.
It is, yeah.
A famous one is the one by Thomas Wyatt, which you probably all know. Almost sing it and join in the chorus. They flee from me that sometimes did me seek, with naked foot stalking in my chamber. I have seen them, gentle, lame and meek, that now are wild and do not remember. Maybe in those days chamber and remember were pronounced like each other. those are quatrains. Now, quickly through some of mine, including two I've done before, but when I watched the recording, it was all fuzzy. So do them again, hopefully not so fuzzy. The Raven of Hiroshima. A field gleams green at ground zero. A low-stretched building stands behind. Its grey walls clean from top to toe, this anti-temple of mankind. I walk with others slowly queuing, blasé about the sights I'll find, as I have done much previous viewing of people's peeled uncheesy rind. But like the Hiroshima folk, we might as well be blind. Our eyes are strangers to the smoke that photos hint at, tersely signed. Relentlessly the story builds, texts, photos, paintings well aligned. To numbness of the numbers killed, too fast, too slow, all too unkind. The sadness clear throughout Japan has its black hole centered here. I want to cry, and though I can, it's infinitely insufficient here. At last I exit to the field, where I stare and fix my gaze on a stately, silent, black bird, its head bowed down, funereal raven.
Yeah, I like that.
And then last two, I'll reintroduce this one. Good morning, star seeds. What's a star seed? It's a new, I think I'll use the word conceit in the New Age movements. And I use the word conceit because there were no such thing and nobody was claiming to be one before about 2010. In other words, before exoplanets were discovered. But since then, particularly in America, and particularly among Generation Y and Z young ladies, there's been a lot of channeling, some of it clearly self-indulgent solipsism, some of it quite plausible, although not plausible to the extent of the best of that movement or people like Teal Swan, but they are claiming that their souls, not their bodies, their souls in previous lives originated in a star, or rather in a planet around a star, or even in a planet around a star in another galaxy. So you've got Pleiadians from the Pleiades, 8 light years away. You've got some claiming to have come from the Andromeda galaxy, some claiming to have come from Lyra. And you can easily look at YouTube and just type in a search on star seeds, and quite a few of them, about half a dozen, will go through all the main starseed groups, and you can, I was going to say you can tell which one you are by the description, but that's as if you didn't know when you were born, right? And you look at the typical description of the 12 sun signs, and you say, oh, I'm very ambitious and materialistic and a ruthless bastard, I must be Capricorn. Except that you were born in July, so actually you can't be. And with starseeds, you don't have that discipline. If you decide that you came from here, well, who's to say you didn't? So it's all a bit sus. The trouble is, like everything in the New Age, there's almost certainly some fire under the smoke. Since we got to about 1 million Jesuses around the world, in the sense that there have been 1 million people actually who have been resurrected, not from the cross obviously, but have had a so-called near-death experience, So they've died and revived, and that's neither more nor less than what happened to him. It's not surprising that some of them also claim to be saviours, and that applies to some of these starseeds who are light workers. It's an interesting movement, and even if it's all a load of crap, which at least 60% of my brain thinks it must be, it's a very rich source of possible storylines and poetry lines in mythical worlds. So there are reasons to follow it. Anyway, I did the song Good Morning Starshine and changed the words. Good evening, starseeds, you visiting souls. You came here in starships. You swarm here in shoals. Good morning, starseeds. Are you raising our vibe? You all look like humans, but tell us your lives were lived light years distant, where goodliness thrives. Lyra, Arcturus, Pleiades, Vega, la 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 lo. O Orion, Andromeda, Speaker. Sources of your soul, say you. Good morning, starseeds. Our sun says good day. You twinkle inside us. That's what you say. Good morning, starseeds. Whatever you are, keep telling your stories. They're raising the bar. I'm going to do more work on that. That's not quite the same as the one I read out last time. And the other one, last time I've done a little bit of work on, is Rain. Rain, the Beatles song, and I rewrote that. I'm not going to sing it this time. In the original, the main refrain is, I can show you that when it starts to rain, everything's the same when the rain comes. And my rewrite, got your point, Paul, for 1966, but now your words won't fix when the rain comes. And then the chorus, rain, now unkind, shine, the weather's blind. Every year now, the heartless heavens pee, the land becomes the sea, when the rains come, when the rains come. After long droughts, the rainfall we don't mind, but storms and cyclones are always badly timed. I want to ask you, while you're still alive, update your song, don't skive. It's untrue now. It's untrue now. To be further worked on. Thank you very much.
Sure. Free Gaza.
So Skye and I went for a little drive yesterday down towards Ballingen and Yaranga, and I was really impressed with the loyalty of one mate to another. Like today for his mate Gary, who is locked up. Someone had graffitied there on the roundabout, Free Gaza. I wonder what Gary did. Do you think that if the magistrate reads that out, that he'll have a change of heart? He'll call the prison farm and ask them to let Gaza out? Reception, hello, Long Bay Jail. Magistrate Prowse. Good day, it's Prowse here. Do you reckon you could let Gaza go home? Reception, what's his surname? No, I don't know, but I've made a huge mistake. They've graffitied the whole town, so you better let him go. Yeah. Anyway, it wasn't Gaza, it was Gaza. Yeah. Anyway, my mistake. I don't know. Actually, it was because it was G-A-Z-Z-A, and they'd crossed out one of the Z's, so I read it as Gaza, right? They'd made a mistake the first time. Another roundabout there, they just had Gaza, but they forgot the free. So yeah. Anyway, I wondered, well, who is Gaza? And it's Paul Gascoigne, the soccer player. Yeah. I wrote this as a tribute to Paul Gascoigne. Free Gaza! Free Gaza! Let him go! Free Gaza! With his hair like snow. There must be a mistake, so please, free Gaza! And while you're at it, free Wayno and also Dazza! That's that, yeah. Wayno, Dazza. So yes, free Gaza and Gaza. Here's one. Here's one I wrote. Actually, I'm not meant to be doing ones that I wrote now, but I did. What I'm meant to be doing is the one that Les Murray wrote about an absolutely ordinary rainbow. Boom, what else would Thundercloud do but one about a rainbow? Now, Les Murray passed away in only 2019. That's only 5 years ago. This book here I've got is his book, The Vernacular Republic, poems from 1961 to 1981. Basically, it's about a man in Sydney crying, but it's an absolutely ordinary rainbow by Les Murray. The word goes round Rapin's, the murmur goes round Lorenzini's. At Tattersall's, men look up from sheets of numbers. The stock exchange scribblers forget the chalk in their hands, and men with bread in their pockets leave the Greek club. There's a fellow crying in Martin Place. They can't stop him. The traffic in George Street is banked up for half a mile and drained of motion. The crowds are edgy with talk, and more crowds come hurrying. Many run in the back streets, which minutes ago were busy main streets, pointing. There's a fellow weeping down there. No one can stop him. The man we surround, the man no one approaches, simply weeps and does not cover it. Weeps, not like a child, not like the wind, like a man, and does not declaim it, nor beat his breast, nor even sob very loudly. Yet the dignity of his weeping holds us back from his space. The hollow he makes about him in the midday light, in his pentagram of sorrow, and uniforms back in the crowd who tried to seize him, stare out at him and feel with amazement, their minds longing for tears as children for a rainbow. Some will say, in the years to come, a halo or force stood around him. There is no such thing. Some will say they were shocked and would have stopped him, but they will not have been there. The fiercest manhood, the toughest reserve, the slickest wit amongst us, trembles with silence and burns with unexpected judgments of peace. Some in the concourse scream who thought themselves happy. Only the smallest children and such as look out of paradise come near him and sit at his feet with dogs and dusty pigeons. Ridiculous, says a man near me, and stops his mouth with his hands as if it uttered vomit. And I see a woman, shining, stretch her hand and shake as she receives the gift of weeping. As many as follow her also receive it. And many weep for sheer acceptance, and more refuse to weep for fear of all acceptance. But the weeping man, like the earth, requires nothing. The man who weeps ignores us and cries out of his writhen face and ordinary body. Not words, but grief. Not messages, but sorrow. Hard as the earth, sheer. Present as the sea. And when he stops, he simply walks between us, mopping his face with the dignity of one man who has wept and has now finished weeping. Evading believers, he hurries off down Pitt Street. Wow.
Very good indeed.
It is, yeah, and that is one of Les Murray's most famous poems, an absolutely ordinary rainbow. So now we've got another big surprise for you. We've got Skye. Skye, she's been away in a van camping, but she's back. Welcome back.
Okay. Yeah, it is. That's why it needs to be, you need to be close to it.
Alright.
That's all right.
I'm reading a couple of Louisa Lawson's poems, since I don't have any of my own, but that's alright. The Reformers. We lead the way, we lead the way, we rise alert to meet each day. We start the fight, we head the fray, we lead the way, we lead the way. We turn the sod, we stir the pool, we point the way to those who rule. We cheat the rogue, we chide the fool. We point the way to those who rule. We bear reserve, we breast rebuff. We force a way over passes rough. We stand the kick, we take the cuff, till death's stern umpire calls enough.
Yeah,
I did say that was the Reformers, didn't I?
you did. Yeah. So Henry Lawson's mum opened up a magazine, well, she bought a magazine called The Republic, and then opened a magazine called The Dawn, which was Australia's first female suffrage magazine and got women the vote, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Light in the darkness. Sickness, sorrow, death, disgrace, all of these I have to face. Pain of body, fret of mind, poverty with bread to find, restless day and sleepless night, dread of darkness, fear of light, not a soul to care for me, not a friend on earth but thee, and thou hast a frightened stare, neath thine eyelids unaware, and like him who raised the dead, hast not where to lay thy head. But because thou lovest me, for thy sake I'll fight us free from this deadlock of despair, from his hell to heaven, I swear.
That's one of being faithful, isn't it, really?
I do this one? I haven't really read this one. But anyway, I'll go for it. Okay, this one. The winter wind. The winter wind, ee-wee, it bites and smites and chases me, and pelts with bouts and shrieks with glee, this winter wind so fierce and free, till wide-eyed stares so white and we peer through the scud all fearsomely. The love-warm rose no longer now clings fondly round fair nature's brow, but in its place the chill winds roam through locks as white as frozen foam. The winter wind, so fierce and free, has wrought this change. Ah me, ah me. Her dress that once was green and bright is stiffened sheer and bleached to white. And where did rose and lily be? Are flecks of frosty filigree. His breath is death, his voice is dree. This winter wind so fierce and free.
Wow.
Thanks, Skye. And I just had to listen to that last one with my eyes closed, and what struck me was how much improvement there has been over the last 12 months in your reading, your enunciation, how you project your voice. It's really good. Congratulations, and that's what this place is about, giving people an opportunity to grow as poets, as whatever, performance readers, everything, artists. I've got my book here, Jan Bung's Peaceful Protest in Nimbin. It's my 2019 or 2018 poetry. And I'm going to do one here called The Rock, I think. I've got a few marked, but I'm not going to do them all. Okay, The Rock. Going around on a rock about a sun, spinning on the earth, flying in spaces, fun. What are you doing? Where's your directive? We live on a big rock, it's one big collective. Why fight and get angry? We should all be friends. A life on a rock, then your life ends. Travelling through space on a rock all together, it's all about perspective, let's all work together. Because flying through space on a rock should be fun. As the moon spins around us, we spin about the sun on a far distant arm of the Milky Way galaxy, enjoying my life in the shade of a tree. Dancing, laughing with friends, living, loving together on a rock about the sun in peace and health forever. That's that. Here we go. Some things, this is called Lost and Found. Things that you don't want to lose. Your mind, your life, for your friends and loved ones, your way, your wallet, respect, control, a court case, sight, your hair, your head, face, your load, freedom, love, things you want to lose, your virginity, your load, your addiction, the cops, the bear chasing you, weight, wrinkles, bags under our eyes, our emotional baggage, hot Cheetos, a can of Diet Coke, me. The butterfly said, Butterfly said, oh, well, today I got back from the pool and there's this most beautiful butterfly stuck inside on the door. So I called Skye, we got a photograph and then we let it go and it actually walked out and stepped on my hand and then flew off. Hey. The butterfly said, butterflies don't like rain, it makes their wings all wet. They don't like hot days too because their wing pits sweat. But butterflies love freedom, they love flying about. A caterpillar in a cocoon is a butterfly busting to get out. I spoke to the butterfly, said, do you want to feel good? Do you want to fly high and free like an eagle would? I spoke to the butterfly, I said, I want to fly free. He said, you'll never fly high because you don't have wings like me. But because you can't fly high, just fly free all about and do every wonderful thing that your mind wants to let out. I spoke with the butterfly, he said, if you can't fly high, fly free through the earth, fly low in the sky. I spoke to the butterfly, he said, it's all in your head, the drama, the fear and the worry, he said. The butterfly told me, don't be in a hurry, just live in the moment. It won't last, so don't worry. These problems going around in your head are enough to make you sick, the butterfly said. Just look at me. I live in the now. I've only got 3 weeks. I just flew by a cow. The butterfly said, hey, quit your crying. In just 3 weeks' time, I know I'll be dying. I don't have a long life, the butterfly said. Why are you worried about all the rubbish in your head? Just live in the now and not in the past. You can't worry about the future because now I won't last. So, live in the now, enjoy your life too. I think I need to fly and do a butterfly poo. A butterfly flew away, landed in a tree, yelled across the paddock, hey, look at me! I'm high in a tree and the world's spinning round. I think I'll go and land somewhere on the ground. Well, the butterfly flew down and he landed on my head. I listened to the butterfly and what he said. Life is amazing when you fly free, but oh my goodness, life's boring just sitting in a tree. I've only got 3 weeks, the butterfly said. Why would I just sit there with depressing voices in my head? When I can be happy and I can fly about, said the butterfly as he gave a joyous shout. Woohoo! I'm happy, I'm beautiful, and I can fly free. Oh, humans, you should try to be just like me. Don't live in the past and the future too because your worries are worrying and depressing you. Just live in the now and enjoy the now while you can. And you can become a butterfly human. Get out of your cocoon where you sit all alone, depressed and unhappy, all alone in your home. Get outside, walk and fly through the air and travel and walk and visit a new place somewhere. Your life, like a butterfly, isn't so long. Don't waste it moping and dragging your feet along. The butterfly said, get out of your cocoon, get out of your house, get out of your room, because if you can't fly high, you can fly free. And fly free and beautiful. Like a butterfly like me. There you go. I didn't even intend to read that one tonight, but I'm glad I did because, yeah, why not? It is. It's very good. Very
Can do a prequel called The Caterpillar.
Sorry?
Can do a prequel called The Caterpillar.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I reckon. Probably have got one about a caterpillar one there somewhere. I've got one about a worm that got eaten by a bird and turned into poo. All right, this is what what appeared in my feed was 20 years ago. Actually, it's over 20 years ago, 21 years ago, nearly 21 years ago. Over 2.5 days, I walked up over 20,000 stairs to the top of Shan, which is the tallest of the 4 sacred Buddhist mountains in China. I was over there at that time teaching English as a second language, as a foreign language to English, to Chinese students. So I carried this backpack of, a good 20 kilos plus a extra 20 kilos of weight onto what I am today. So it was around about 86 kilos at the time. My legs burnt. And at over 300 metres altitude, the oxygen was thinner. When I finished and returned to Australia, I vowed to become fit. It's often a crisis that motivates change. The best, language warning, there's that word that comes out of your backside and rhymes with it. I try to look on the positive of most things, so that's where this one comes from. Best thing that people can say about you is shit, because it's an opportunity for growth and to reflect on it. Where shadows are cast by words both sharp and cold, a silver lining weaves its thread in a cloud. Critique though harsh, reveals a path unfold, growth and wisdom in our hearts clear and loud. Through negativity, a chance to rise, to heights unseen through self-reflection's lens. Resilience is built as trees push windy skies. With each criticism, strength and growth extends. Feedback is a mirror to our inner perception, a guide to realms where self-awareness stirs. In moments of dark doubt and judgment's deception, I miss that. Self-awareness shines, it should have been. I'm going to start that whole paragraph again. Feedback, a mirror to our inner perception. A guide to realms where self-awareness shines. In moments of dark doubt and judgment's deception, refinement blooms amid life's challenging times. So let the judgment of others fuel the fire. In challenges, I find growth, aim, and aspire. So that was, it was a kind of a sonnet, but not a sonnet, because usually a sonnet has 14 lines, and it goes A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, and then B, B, sort of like that. But this one's actually got 16 lines. The first 2 lines rhyme, the last 2 lines rhyme, and then the middle of it is like a sonnet. Actually, the last 14 lines are like a sonnet with 2 rhyming lines at the beginning, so yeah. And that was written off the back of this one, which was written the day before. Which it's kind of like, it's a little bit the opposite, because at one stage I'm saying, when people talk shit about you, reflect on it, and it's a chance for growth. Well, it's a little bit the opposite of this. I'll just read it to you. Never allow others' comments to affect your life. Opportunities to learn are lost to inner grief and strife. And when I say that, I mean, don't let it
tear you apart, use it as a learning experience. So that's where it comes on the other one, which I just read. There once was a man I didn't understand, so I asked. A question about why, what, when, to understand his past. His answer interesting and amazing, so our friendship grew with respect. We both shared everything we knew. When you listen twice as much as you speak, you learn twice as much about people in a week. But when you speak too much and rarely listen, most important information you're missing. Open your eyes, close your mouth, open your ears. Don't react to stupid people, their irrational beliefs and fears. Never allow others' comments to affect your life. Opportunities to lost, to learnt, to inners, a lost. Opportunities to learn, a loss, to inner grief and strife. Take a deep breath. Clench your anus. Inhale a little more. Hold your breath before exhaling and count 1, 2, 3, 4. Then exhale slowly. Don't let bullies twist your arm. Stay calm. Smile at idiots. And always use your charm. That's that. And that's me for the week. Yeah. For me, for the week, from my poetry, I didn't write a lot this week, only about 4 poems or something like that, which is not a lot for me, but it's still some, so yeah, this is good. What else have we got happening here at the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame? Well, on the 6th of April, we've got Fiore Musicale coming back here that's Saturday, that's Easter Saturday. They'll be doing some chorale music and singing here. That'll be fantastic. And over the next few months, we're always looking for artists who are travelling through. Come to Gyra if you want to perform here on a Wednesday night or Saturday morning, or have a gig here. There's always opportunities. And in fact, very soon, actually over next week, we're going to be holding, Gary Guest is a fantastic portrait photographer who's staying in Gyra for a week. He's camped here at the lagoon. He'll be running a workshop on how to take fantastic photos and how to edit them and enhance them using your mobile phone. So this will be a workshop that we'll be holding here. So stay tuned for that, because that is going to be really a small group workshop of only about 10 people. So it'll be very exclusive. Only some people will get to go to it, unless we get a lot of interest and we need more. All right, and if you are there online, check out the work that Gary Guest has done. In fact, I have tagged him. He's taken my photograph there on the Facebook page as well, so you'll see the kind of stuff he does. All right, thank you very much for joining us here at the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame on Wednesday Words of the 31st of January 2024, and we'll be back here next week in 7 days. Don't forget, if you're down in Armidale, the first Tuesday of the month at is it the Grand Hotel? Yes, it is the Grand Hotel in Armidale at 7 o'clock. Yes, okay. The Armidale Poets, thank you very much, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.